Hey guys, Jordan here from Pixie. One of the questions that we get asked a lot is about how to use task labels in Pixie. What are the applications? How are other firms using them? What are some of the creative ways that you can use them as well? So just going to share with you a few thoughts around how you might use these best practices, really just to give you some ideas about how you can start to use them in your own Pixie workspace. So in order to access the task labels, you need to go to settings and then task labels at the top. And I'm going to start with just some really simple ones, and I'm going to create a set of labels for basically different stages of tasks. So you might have something like, you might have a stage that says not started. Maybe you have one that says in progress. Maybe you have one that says in review. Maybe you have something like waiting for client. Maybe there's another one that says if for example, you have an offshore or an outsourced team, then maybe you could have a label that says with offshore outsourced team. I've got some simple labels there. And for now, I'm just going to leave all of these labels the same color. But what you can actually do is color code these. So for example, each of these labels here could have a slightly different color, like that could be blue, that could be gold, etc. But I'm just going to change those back to gray for now. The reason I'm going to change them back, well, it's a slightly different color now, is because one of the things you can do, which is a little bit more creative, is to start to group labels together by their color. So for example, I've got these labels here grouped together because they're all this kind of light purpley color. And these all represent stages of work. So I know that if I see a light purple label on any task in Pixie, that's related to a stage of work. But what we can also then do is start to create some different label categories. So for example, you might start to create some blue labels, and those labels are for types of clients. So maybe you've gone through the process of grading your clients, or maybe you have different packages that your clients work on. If you're a fan of the three-tiered pricing type approach, bronze, silver, gold being the most overused example there. What you could do is create some labels for those different service levels and those different packages, just so that when you see tasks, you're aware not only what the task is, but also the type of client it relates to, so that you're not kind of throwing too much time and energy at the low fee clients that, are always fighting for time, but maybe aren't paying the fees in return. So that's just another idea. So you could have something here like, let's just stick with bronze, silver, gold for now as the example. But you might choose it, client grade A, grade B, grade C. It's completely up to you. And I'm going to keep all these as blue just because I want to know that when I see a blue label, it relates to the type of client. And then the last type of label you might want to create is just something around the type of actual task. So I know that a number of you are using Pixie to manage your ad hoc tasks, internal tasks like marketing and sales, or organizing team meetings. So you could create a task category for those as well. So for example, if I just whiz my video out of the way, you could have another category, and maybe this category this time is red, and this is going to be like ad hoc tasks, marketing tasks, sales tasks. So these are just some ideas, and the way that I'm organizing this is just to categorize them by color, but you could categorize them completely differently. You could have different colors for each of these, and you could categorize it by editing the text. So instead of these all being bronze, silver, gold, you could have like that, and then you could actually choose the different colors. Like we would have this as gold, we would have this as it's not really silver, it's purple. Gonna make it more silvery, yeah, about there. And then a bronze. What color could, I don't know, maybe like that color. Is that bronze? You get my example. So you just creating the different color categories there. And if you just save all of this, what it means you can do is that as you're managing tasks in your firm, you can start to apply those labels to them. So for example, I've got a really long task list here. One of the labels that gets applied automatically is overdue. But for example, if this task here at the top, I wanted to go in here, it's not yet been started, I could apply not started. I might also say it's for a silver client. and I might leave that like that. And if I go back to my task list, I can see now it's got those labels on there. And then I might choose this bookkeeping one here, and that one might be in review, and they're a gold client. And then I'll go back to my task list, and then, you know, you add these as you're working through. And then I've got another one here, which is from Mark Wickersham. It's a pricing one. So here I'm going to tag this as sales tasks. And if I go back to my task list, I can see now it has that label. And what you're able to do is you're able to use the filters on your own to-do list to filter by specific tags. But what's probably more important and more relevant is that you can also use those filters on the work report. So if we go to team and then go to work report, this is showing the tasks across the entire firm. So if you and your team members are using these labels on tasks, you can run some pretty interesting reports. So for example, if I wanted to see all of the open tasks that are due before the end of this month, and the label is waiting for the client, click apply, I can see that I've got no tasks due before the end of this month where I'm waiting for the client for anything. But if I wanted to see which tasks I've got due before the end of the month that I haven't started, suddenly I can see that I've got one task due before the end of the month that hasn't been started yet, which tells me whoever this task belongs to, in this case it's myself, I probably need to get around to starting that. But what you'd be able to see here is if that task belonged to somebody else in the team, you could then follow up and say, hey, we know we need to get this started. It's due at the end of the month. So hopefully that gives you some ideas around how you can use these task labels to manage work in different stages and improve some of the reporting that you'll get out of Pixie. But if you have any questions at all, or even if you have any other ideas, creative ways to use these labels that you're using in your firm, please let us know. We always love to learn about how our customers are using Pixie for their own firm. So yeah, please get in touch and let us know how you get on.